Well, we disappointed that we weren't able to win at Mississippi State and be the 11th seed. And it was nice to have to play, being able to play for something on Saturday. I knew it was going to be a tough game to win because Mississippi State's really playing well. And I say, they're playing as well as teams that are in the upper division. And wouldn't be surprised to see them make a run in the tournament. Those 5 seniors and a couple of talented freshmen, they're a good team. I thought we played well in the second half. Found a little bit of a rhythm offensively, but we just didn't play well enough for the last 10 minutes. Actually, Mississippi State only had scored 6 points almost halfway through the first half. So I thought we were prepared. We just our offense killed us in the first half, so anyways, disappointed. Moving on to the SEC tournament. Part of the reason why we played Middle Tennessee on a neutral site and made that arrangement with them was to get into that building and get a little bit familiar with it. And we didn't take full advantage of that opportunity, losing in overtime to Middle, but that was part of the method behind that. Tennessee is, I guess, in some ways, they're a team that's have had some things happen to them that mirror us a little bit, particularly now with Kevin Punter out and Amani Moore playing a lot of point guard for them. It's very similar to us having had Simeon Bowers play point guard. The only difference is their power forward went to play point guard instead of their center. And the last time we played Tennessee, they beat us by 26, I think. I mean, it was almost they drilled us. We didn't have TJ Dunnins, and we're clearly a more competitive team with TJ. It hasn't translated into many wins, but it certainly has translated into us being a more competitive team. So the formula late in the year is to play great defense and be engaged, and offensively see if we can build on what we did in the second half against Mississippi State, playing well together, sharing the ball, and see if we can get that first one Wednesday night. Take it one at a time.
Bruce, after the game in Starkville, TJ Dunnins kind of said, at the beginning of each half was great, 8-0. I think it was 8-0, 8-2 in the beginning of each half, and then you guys started to get selfish a little bit in your offensive possessions. You called the guys to kind of have, okay, my turn possessions, and we can't do that. Are you
those
seeing
guys?
that?
Those guys quote me. That's for me in the locker room. That's not for you guys. And if the players decide to give you that, that's up to them. I would say that we started well with Horace Spencer out there, and then Horace comes out, we're not as good because he makes us so much better defensively, and so I'd look at that more, and I don't think that in the first half when we weren't making shots we were selfish. We just weren't making shots. Guys do look for them. They do look for themselves, and they should look for themselves. But occasionally turn a good shot down to get a teammate a better shot. Again, being able to play together. So I wouldn't call it selfishness. I'd take the shots we got. I'd just like to see our guys finish them.
I think his thought was, though, that maybe the ball didn't move as much, and that there wasn't an idea of how we got to 8-0. That we played a little differently than how we forgot how we played to get to 8-0, and then, obviously, like 39-12 happens the other way.
Yeah. Well, I'd say
he was calling out any other teammates.
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm not. I want to try to answer the question because I'd say that Newman and Witherspoon got off, and they were making shots, making tough shots, and we weren't down at the other end. And if we were missing shots, it turned into transition for them, and so, like has happened to this team a lot, we do go through some spells where we go cold, they go hot, and all of a sudden close games become 10, 15, point margins in a hurry. Like, we may have been up early. We should have been up way more early, given the fact that Mississippi State, again, go back and look at it. I truly think that after the first 10 minutes of the first half, they had 6 points. I mean, how much should we have been up at that point? More than we were.
It was when you head into this situation, you talked about last year, kind of the key to the run was defense, and those guys kind of understanding. Obviously, defense is key right now, but offensively, is it just a matter of making some shots and building confidence? Is that
Well,
what
I mean, it's about game plans. It's about taking advantage of different teams' strengths and weaknesses, and understanding, where we have an advantage and where we don't have an advantage. And I thought we got into a really good ball screen rhythm in the second half against Mississippi State. I mean, we had some of the better looks in ball screen offense with T.J. Dunnins making plays for everybody else out of that ball screen. I'm sure Tennessee's going to look at that and do what they can to try to take that away. And then, but at the same time, Mississippi State still scored more than we needed for them to do, and we're not turning people over enough and making enough plays on the defensive end. We are, and I think that when something happens for the first time in 30 years, just because it happened last year doesn't mean it's automatically like there's some magic wand that I can wave and some formula for winning in postseason. When you add up 15 years of SEC tournament play for Auburn prior to our getting here, and you come up with 3 wins, it hasn't been March hasn't been really good to us. So that's the challenge I want to put on the players, saying understand that a win, 2 wins, 3 wins in the SEC tournament, which we're certainly capable of, are historic and not going to be easy. Just not going to be easy. And just because we did it last year, I don't pay attention to this stuff too much. I really don't. But I think it's incredible that we've only been the favorite in 1 SEC game this year, and that was our first game against Tennessee. And we haven't been, nor will we be, a favorite the rest of the way. We were favored the first game, I think, by a point maybe, something like that. And again, I don't pay any attention to it, but that's just incredible to not be favored the rest of the season. And I don't think we'll be favored up there. So therefore, I'm trying to build my guys, give them an edge in the sense that we still are in a position where we got to prove people wrong.
Do the players, especially the ones obviously that were there last year on last year's team, do they, are they looking at that and taking on that underdog role again?
One of the great challenges that we have had in rebuilding the program is so little carryover. Right now, the only 3 players, scholarship players, TJ Lang, Jordan Granger, and Simeon Bowers. And as we begin to move forward, I will have more players from this year's team returning. And then next year, we may only lose TJ Dunnins. He may be only a senior. And so that's, again, how you build and how you carry over and have some continuity, so that rather than the players looking at it being my turn, we've played together in some sort of, and then you begin to build that chemistry, so on and so forth. So I wish I had more carryover from last year's team. It would have helped us.